Good afternoon and welcome to Paul T's World. In this video we're going to look at how to get lavender for free. All these were free. Beautiful and healthy. And some even have decided to flower already. So here we have 3 seedlings that have formed this year. This one and these 2. There's a little one here, not sure what that is, but I'll just pull that out. There's actually a little, could be a buddleia here. Here's another one, another little lavender. So let's see what soil I'm going to put in these little pots to pot up these seedlings. Oh, we've got a little hoverfly in there. Right, well this is just general purpose compost. There's a little bit of food in there and it'll retain some moisture. And then here I've got literally some of the sand that is dug out of my garden. When you dig right down, this is what you get. And after a year or 2, this is how my soil looks. Bone dry and thin and no goodness. So I'm just going to mix that in. So let's just mix in all 3 of those and there we'll have a perfect mix for our lavender. So we'll put in some of this poor dry soil. Yeah, in fact, let's get it all in. There we are. Then we'll pop in a little bit of compost. There we are, that should do. And we'll finish off by mixing in some of this kind of coarse sand, I suppose it is really. And let's just mix it round and see what it looks like. The seedlings grow quite long tap roots and they will go straight down into this pot when we pot it up so that it survives when it goes a bit dry. Let's have a bit more of this compost. There's about 3 or 4 seedlings and I've got some small pots to put them in. There we are. That looks quite good, doesn't it? Just a medium to hold some moisture, but let it drain through. I'm just going to fill these up, well, half full really. And then once we've got the little seedling in, we'll fill it to the top. Well, almost to the top anyway. So you've seen how poor this soil is, apart from some nice compost, just to hold some moisture, but it's very free draining. So those are pots. Now let's see if we can pull out the biggest one. So let's see what happens. I'll just get it as low down as possible and just give it a little tug. Not doing so well this one because it's actually too large. The roots are well under there and they won't pull out. So I'm just going to have to pull it out as much as I can and see what we get. They're tough as old nails, these lavender, so we won't worry too much about knocking off some of these leaves. Look at that. There's its root. So it went right down there. What, about 4 or 5 inches? Tough little thing. There we are. Perfect. Now we'll get the... I'll just pop him in. So now we'll just pop a little bit more of the soil around it. Don't need to press it down too much, but just a little bit. And there we are. And I just like to pop some stones around there. For a few reasons really. It's good for most plants, especially when you're trying to grow them from seedling. So the stem doesn't have too much moisture on it, and also when you're watering it, it doesn't wash all the compost out. So there we are, there's our first little seedling. So I'll get on now and do the other three. So let's see how these come out. I've got a feeling these are going to come out a little bit easier because they're not quite so big. Give it a little pull. Remember, it's a pretty strong plant. Up it comes, and there's its root. Let's try this one. And there we are, that's a nice root. It's got roots both sides and down. And there's another one somewhere. Now this one here is actually growing in it's growing in the side here, not down below. So let's just pull it straight out and see what happens. As gentle as I can, but you've got to put some pressure on here. Some of the lower leaves are getting stripped off. Yeah, there we are. There's some root on there, so that's absolutely fine. There we are, 4 done. I'll just get and water those now. And let's give them a little water. I like to really drench anything really to begin with. I want it watered all the way down. And I'm going to keep watering until the water comes out of the bottom. Just water gently, you don't want all the compost flying everywhere. Perfect. Yep, it's dripping out of the base of all of them there. Never underestimate how much water it takes to totally moisten all the compost. In fact, when you're watering anything, what you don't want is the water to zip down the side here and or disappear. You want it right over everything. And now they can take their place alongside the others from last year. There we are, there's last year's. He's even flowered a little bit. And I had 5, 6, 7, 8 more that I've given away. Lovely. And this is how I water them when I think about it. There we are, that's what I do every now and again. So I'll probably leave those now for 3 or 4 days, perhaps even more. Now we're in a little bit of a heat wave now in Britain, so it's about 25 centigrade up to 30 centigrade. So maybe I'll come back in another 3 days, but I certainly won't water these every day. It's just when I think about it. Because when you think that these little seedlings here, they've grown to this, not with me watering, but purely on rain. And then it sent the long taproot down to find some moisture that was retained in the path. So It rains, I don't know, once every 4 days, once a week. It just depends. So it doesn't have to be regular. These lavender are tough. These are English lavender, angustifolia. Tough as old boots. Brilliant. I don't think I'll put them in a bigger pot like this. These will go straight in the ground or be given away when they're about this size. Perfect for just popping in the ground or in a pot. So all you need is a path like this, based on sand, a lavender hedge like that, preferably English lavender because it's so hardy. It's hardy down to minus 15 degrees centigrade. I think that's about 5 Fahrenheit. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for next time.